What is up, lit people? Armenti, and welcome back to another Loomian Legacy video. Guys, a huge update for Loomian Legacy's history just occurred literally a few hours ago on Saturday. Okay guys, so if you guys remember, Lando made a tweet saying, "We have one more quality of life improvement that we're saving to announce tomorrow before the update." And well, that quality of life improvement was just added to Loomian Legacy. So 13 hours ago, the Llama Train Studio Twitter account tweeted the following tweet, which said, "Also included in today's update is a new pity system for gleaming and roaming encounters. The pity system guarantees a gleaming or roaming encounter after a certain numbers of boosted wall encounters. More information can be found in the included images." So pretty much to access your pity encounter, you just go to your Lumi Boost tab, and when you get there, you turn on the gleaming pity or the roaming pity. As you can see on my screen right now, the gleaming pity says 6 and the roaming pity says 128. What does 6 mean and what does 128 mean? So basically, I have encountered 122 Loomians and none of them have been gleaming, so pretty much the pity system is telling me that if I don't find a gleaming in the next 5 encounters, the 6th encounter will be a gleaming. And yeah, that's pretty much how the new system works. Now let me just read what the system says in game. Gleaming pity encounter. While your gleaming Lumi Boost is running and the gleaming pity switch is activated, your standard walled encounters will be counted. When the counter hits 0, you are guaranteed to encounter a gleaming Loomian. Encountering a gleaming Loomian will reset your gleaming pity encounters. With the gleaming charm, the gleaming pity counter counts down from 128. Without the gleaming charm, the gleaming pity counter counts down from 256. Only one pity counter switch may be activated at the time. So pretty much with this new quality of life improvement to Loomian Legacy, there were a lot of people who were against it, while on the other hand, there were a lot of people who were in favor of it. I personally like it because it's basically telling you that if you don't find a gleaming after a certain amount of encounters, you will automatically find one. I feel like this could be better explained through an example. So let's say you're hunting for a Gleam Kabunga in Rally Ranch and you have the Gleam Charm and the Gleam Boost on. If you do not find the Gleam Kabunga within 127 encounters, the 128th encounter will have a chance for the gleaming to be a Kabunga. This is also the case with any other Lumen that you're trying to get. So basically what this new system is doing is that it's assuring you a gleaming after using your boost tokens. A lot of people were complaining that they bought boost tokens and after 300 encounters they didn't encounter a single gleam, and now if you buy a boost token and if you use the gleaming boost, you have assurance that you will find a gleaming within 128 encounters. Right now on the screen, you can see how I have done 127 encounters and I have not found a gleaming, which means that my next encounter should be a gleaming Loomian, because that's my gleaming pity encounter. And now, regarding gleams, you may find it in the 5th encounter, you may find it in the 12th encounter, you may find it in the 88th encounter, and if you do not find it within 127 encounters, the 128th encounter will be automatically a gleaming. Also, something to note is that the counter will reset if you find a gleaming within those 128 encounters, so the surprise element for hunting in Loomian Legacy will not be removed. Like I said, you may find a gleaming in the 5th encounter, you may find it in the 8th encounter, and whenever you find a gleaming, the pity counter will be reset. Take this for example, I was hunting for 30 minutes, and after 127 encounters, I did not find a single gleaming, and then the pity encounter just gave me a gleaming at the 128th encounter, because the odds of a gleaming is 1 in 128. I see a lot of people saying how this is running the encounter rates, because let's say it's your gleaming pity encounter time, which means that you'll have a 1 in 125 chance for a gleaming roaming. Well, how does that really make sense? What is happening is that people are not considering the gleam odds for that specific encounter because they know that they're gonna get a gleam, so they're basically saying I have a 1 in 125 chance of finding a gleaming roam. However, you have a 1 in 125 chance of finding a gleaming roam whenever you roll a gleam. The difference is that you know you're gonna be rolling a gleam in this specific encounter, whereas you do not know when you're gonna be rolling a gleam in previous specific encounters. So yes, I guess it's true that with your gleaming pity encounter, you do have a 1 in 125 chance of finding a gleaming roam if you also have the roam boost on. However, those have been the odds all along whenever you find a gleam in the wild, because after you roll the gleam encounter in the wild, there was a 1 in 125 chance of that gleam encounter being a gleaming roaming. The difference is that now you know you're gonna be finding a gleam, and before you didn't. There are other people that are saying that whenever it's time for your gleaming pity encounter, there's a 1 in 5 chance of it being a gamma. Well, I guess that is true to an extent. Whenever you find a gleaming in the wild, there's always that 1 in 5 chance of that gleaming being a gamma. The difference is now you know that you're gonna be finding a gleaming, and before you didn't. So yeah, I guess it's true that whenever it's time for your gleaming encounter, there's a 1 in 5 chance for it to be a gamma, a 1 in 125 chance for it to be a gleaming roaming. Nonetheless, those have always been the odds. The difference is now you know that it's gonna be a gleaming, and before you didn't. after further understanding this update and, you know, learning about it more, honestly, I really like it because it's giving you your money's worth. A lot of people complained saying after 128 encounters I didn't get a gleaming, I'm just wasting my money on the game. Well, now you're not, because you're assured that in 128 encounters you will at least find one gleaming in the game. It's important to note that Lando made a tweet saying, "We set the pity system to coincide with the chances of encountering gleams and roamers with and without their respective game passes. Statistically, most people will encounter a gleaming or roamer before reaching the pity. This system just eliminates bad luck essentially. So if you're ever hunting in Loomian Legacy, chances are you'll find a gleaming within 128 encounters. However, if you have bad luck and it takes you more than 128 encounters to find a gleaming, that is no longer true because you will find one at the 128th encounter with the new Gleaming Pity update." Another thing I want to talk about is that Lucky made a tweet saying, "What's the point in hunting and feeling that suspense when you know you're just gonna get something?" Then Brad responded by saying, "You'll still get cool stuff randomly. This is just to guarantee that a boost is worth it by making sure you get something at some point." I guess this essentially also makes streaming much more fun, because you know that within 128 encounters, I will be finding something rare, so yeah, it's much more enjoyment for everyone. When the update was originally out, I didn't agree with it, because I felt that it reduced the boost, and it made everything much more easier, but in reality is, nothing has changed. You simply just have a confirmed chance of a gleam within 128 encounters in the game. As said before, when it's your Gleaming Pity encounter chance, there's a 1 in 5 chance of that Gleaming Pity encounter to be a gamma, 1 in 125 chance of that Gleaming Pity encounter to be a roaming. However, those odds always existed within the game. Before, you didn't know that there was gonna be a gleaming encounter in the next encounter, and now, well, you do know that it's gonna be a gleaming encounter. I personally gave out the pity system a try, and after 5 times of getting the Gleaming Pity encounter, because my luck was that bad, I didn't get a single gamma, I just got 5 random alphas. The system was designed to make your money's worth, like I said, and I really like it. Now there will no longer be droughts of hunting for 2 hours without getting a single alpha because, well, there's a system in place to make sure that never happens again. And I actually want to bring one more tweet up in this video to talk about so that you guys can further understand the whole situation. So At Your Face on Twitter actually said, "All the pity system does is change things from every encounter has a 1 in 128 chance to be a gleaming to out of 128 encounters, 1 will be a gleaming. Hoping to hit the pity doesn't make you any more likely to find a super rare Loomian." And yeah, that's pretty much it. Like I said, whenever you find a gleaming in the wild, there's always a 1 in 5 chance of that gleaming to be a gamma, 1 in 125 chance of that gleaming to be a gleaming roaming, as long as you have all the boosts on. And now what the new system does is, if you don't get a gleaming in 127 encounters, the 128th encounter will essentially be a gleaming. What are your thoughts, comments, and opinions regarding the new system? Make sure to let me know in the comment section down below, and I'll be sure to read them all. Anyways guys, thank you so much for watching this video. I'm Armenti, and we LIT.